Mabuhay, Hafaday, and welcome to the Philippine Independence Special 2017. I'm your host, Rebecca Elmore. It's that time of year again that we commemorate our nation's sovereignty that we have gained back 119 years ago. The theme for this year's celebration is Independence 2017, Working Together for Change. Working together is a trait that runs deep in the Filipino culture. It is what we call bayanihan, helping each other when we needed to lessen the workload and making the job easier. True nature of the community spirit. We have great episodes in store for you tonight. We will feature a few of the annual events that are happening here on Guam during the celebration of the Philippine independence, namely the traditional flag-raising ceremony on June 12th, the Vent d'Honneur hosted by the Office of the Consul General of the Philippines, and the Philippine Independence Ball hosted by the Filipino community of Guam, and much, much more. Also in this episode, we had the privilege of talking to two distinguished gentlemen for the Filipino community, namely Dr. Raul Sunuco, a world-renowned pianist from the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and we also had the immense pleasure of speaking to the Consul General of the Philippines, Marciano de Borja. This is our way of saying maraming salamat po to all of our loyal viewers. So tara na and enjoy this year's Philippine Independence Special. Mabuhay and welcome to the Philippine Independence Special 2017. I'm Rebecca Elmore and joining me is our wonderful guest, the Consul General Marciano de Borja. Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks Rebecca.
So how are you liking Guam?
Well, I've been here for more than 2 years now. In fact, this is my third time to host the Philippine Independence Day celebration. And well, enjoying with the community here and of course, making a lot of friends in Guam government, business, and academe. So I can't complain.
So 2 years, is that how long you've been
Well,
celebrating?
2 years and a half. But I arrived here in the month of August, so I missed the 2014 celebration. So I started hosting it 2015, 2016, and now 2017.
So that's how many years you've been celebrating the Philippine independence here on Guam?
Well, as Consul General, it's my third celebration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And getting better. Yeah.
So for the benefit of our viewers watching, what is the Vent d'Honneur celebration?
Well, the Vent d'Honneur is the traditional reception. It actually, the tradition started in Malacanang Palace, that's the presidential palace in Manila, whereby the President of the Republic invites the diplomatic corps. The diplomatic corps in the Philippines is headed by the Papal Nuncio and all the other countries represented in Manila, So it's a traditional toast with the Papal Nuncio and of course together with the other representatives of other countries accredited to the Philippines. And that's one way, of course, of celebrating our Independence Day. Of course, inviting the representatives from different countries so that the whole world would know that the Philippines has this very special day to celebrate together with our friends around the world.
Absolutely. And here on Guam, what are some significant things that you notice that we do that's unique to the island here?
Well, I've said this in other interviews. What actually surprised me is that, I've been in the Philippine Foreign Service for more than 20 years. And during that time, in other postings I had, they will only have probably one day or a weekend of celebration of Philippine independence. But in Guam, it's not just a week, it's actually the entire month. Okay, and there's even a formal proclamation signed by the governor of Guam, recognizing this month as Philippine Independence Month. So it's not just the Philippine Consulate General that holds a formal activity like this, the Bang d'Honor, but we also have other organizations, Filipino associations, hosting different events like art exhibit, the Santa Cruzan in Agani Shopping Center. We're going to have also the Philippine Independence Ball. Of course, it's a big party thrown by no less than the Philippine community of Guam. The Pista Sanayon, it's like the village feast. It's going to be held at the Micronesian Mall. So these are some of the public events whereby the people of Guam could participate. Of course, they have booths, they have entertainment, but it's something to be enjoyed by everybody. Yeah.
And how is the Philippine Consulate on Guam at this present day?
Well, since I arrived here, I've instituted some, of course, changes. One of that is the expansion of our office in ITC building. So we've actually expanded by more than 200 square meters. So that allowed us to set up a new library, a new conference area or activity area. And in fact, we're even hosting what we call now Escuela Munti. It's like a little school whereby there are volunteer teachers who teach Filipino language and culture. And we have both classes for children and adults. So you can actually enroll in the adult class.
Oh, yeah.
If you wish, yeah. So these are some of and we just completed the construction of the new official residence of the Consul General in Jonestown. We have, the Philippine government has property in Jonestown at Julie Court. And we're able to get the budget to construct a 3-story residential building. So that's going to be inaugurated sometime in September, but the construction has already been completed. So I think these are substantial achievements that I could share with our kababayans and of course our friends here in Guam. And of course, we'll be inviting you also to grace those occasions.
Absolutely, we're there.
Yeah.
Now, this year's theme is Working Together for Change. Now,
Yes.
what are some changes or progressive projects that your office is currently working on?
Well, as I've said, the construction of this new official residence is one of the most challenging that I've done so far. And of course, we focus on what I call high-impact activities. Whenever we have big events like today, we have the Bang d'Honor. So our guest is no less than the president of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, Mr. Raul Sunico, who is a world-class pianist. So, and he's going to have also a Philippine Independence concert at the Guam Museum tomorrow night. And last March, we invited the president of SM Supermalls, one of the biggest companies in the Philippines, as our special and keynote speaker for the celebration of the International Women's Day. So this is part of our effort to promote not just women empowerment, but also women entrepreneur.
Oh, wow.
And of course, we collaborated with the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce to host this event. And it was it's a very successful event because not just for the Filipino community, but also from the Guam business sector, the women who are looking forward to see successful women In this case, Miss Annie Garcia from SM Supermalls, to share with them their experiences, and of course, looking also forward to having more commercial exchanges, trade investment, and as you know, there's also SM presence here at the Aganya Shopping Center. So these are some of the things that we're promoting. It's not just enhancing our consular services to our countrymen, but also promoting more business exchanges, academic exchanges, and tourism, because we have a lot to offer as well to our friends from Guam. Of course, medical tourism is already very prominent in the agenda, but for people like you, young people, then there are also a lot of activities that you can join, and of course, entertainment is also a big thing in Manila.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, maraming salamat po
Well,
for
you're
joining
welcome.
us,
You're
and
welcome.
thank you everyone for watching. This concludes this episode. We'll be right back with Dr. Raul Sunico. See you soon. Mabuhay and welcome to the Philippine Independence Special 2017. I'm Rebecca Elmore. Thanks so much for joining us. With me is Dr. Raul Sunico, the former president of the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rebecca,
How
for
are
inviting
you?
me here. I'm fine, thank you.
Now, Doctor, is this the first time you've been here on the Philippines, or here in Guam? My goodness.
Yes, well, I don't blame you because it's like being in the Philippines too.
Isn't
There
it?
are too many Filipinos here, so I feel like I'm still back home. Yes, I just arrived yesterday and I will be staying for the next 4 days. This is my first time to Guam.
Oh, wow. And how are you liking it here so far?
I like it very much. Well, I haven't been around really because I just arrived yesterday and we had the flag raising ceremony on the occasion of Philippine Independence Day this morning. And of course, now we are having the cocktails at this moment. Tomorrow, I have my concert. So for the next 2 days after that, that's probably the time that I can see something in Guam.
Now, you mentioned that there's a lot of Filipinos here on Guam. How are you enjoying our Filipino community here?
Oh, the Filipino community has always been very accommodating, very friendly. Well, that's the Philippine signature. That's the Filipino trademark. We're hospitable people, friendly people, sometimes too accommodating, in fact. And I feel that the Filipinos here are no different than the Filipinos we have back home.
Absolutely. Now, how was it formally holding the office at the CCP, knowing that the Philippines is known for their vast culture and diversity?
Well, I've been president for 7 years at the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Actually, for the past 7 years that I've been there, I have also been concurrently the dean of the biggest music school in the Philippines. It's the University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music, where I'm still teaching there as a faculty member, not only of music but also of mathematics.
Oh, wow.
So beyond the Cultural Center, of course, is a big challenge. The Cultural Center was established in 1969 by the former First Lady Imelda Marcos for the purpose of having a venue for not only national but international artists, performing venue. And since then, it has expanded to be a coordinating center, not only as a performing venue, but to help other people, especially in the provinces, in other areas of the Philippines, in the fields of arts, in music, theater, film, dance, etc. So we deal with a lot of artists, with a lot of communities. We deal with a lot of diplomatic visitors and international guests also.
Now, let's talk about your love, your passion for the piano. How did you get started?
Well, I started at the age of 5, piano lessons. At that time, well, during my generation, which is way before you, of course, it was our culture to have every child in the household that has a piano, to take piano lessons. And we were no exception, so I took piano lessons, and gradually, I don't consider myself a child prodigy, but gradually as we progressed, I enjoyed being a participant in all these group recitals, to see the other people, the other piano students display their particular talents. until eventually when I got to an advanced level, I told my parents that I wanted to take music as a degree, not as a career, because eventually I took math. So, but by a stroke of fate, I was heard by the former First Lady, Mrs. Marcos, at a ceremony because I was a last-minute substitute to perform there at the Presidential Palace. And she offered me the scholarship. That was when I went to New York, where I finished my Master of Music at the Juilliard School, and later on my doctorate at the New York University.
Oh, wow, wonderful. My goodness. And it shows. Being a world-acclaimed virtuoso, what are some of your local and international experiences?
Well, I have performed many times in not only the Philippines, but also in other countries. Other than the United States, where I have stayed in New York for 27 years, I have joined and figured in some competitions with some awards, particularly in Italy, also the United States. I've given concerts in most of Western Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, in America, in Canada, Australia, Mexico, and other places.
What's your favorite place?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
But I particularly like Vienna, Austria.
Vienna.
I feel like I'm being transported back in time. You know, the composers of the Western music, they all came from that part of the world.
And our theme this year is Independence 2017, Working Together for Change. What are some of the changes that you've noticed in our country for the past few years?
Well, our change in culture is not as abrupt as we would like it to be, because as we know, culture is always, or more often than not, it is at the back seat of any national development, especially in a developing country like the Philippines, where economy is of primary importance. Unless you are secure in your economic standing, and I'm not talking only about the country, I'm talking about individuals. You know, unless you have enough money to cover your basic needs, it's difficult to attract somebody to appreciate the arts. But then it's no excuse also. Right now, with the advancement of technology, even people who may not be able to afford to go abroad, or let's say to watch a concert here or there, with the internet, with the computer, they can easily gain knowledge and be exposed to the arts themselves. So the advancement of our technology now is no excuse. It gives people the opportunity to also be exposed and immersed in the arts, even if they cannot be personally witness to an art event every time.
Wonderful. Now, do you have a message to our kababayans all over the world?
Yes, hello everyone, and well, first of all, I would like to thank our hosts for inviting me for this interview. This is my first time in Guam. I'm enjoying it immensely. I haven't been here, of course, for more than 24 hours. So I look forward to enjoying the hospitality, the people of Guam, as I look forward to sharing my music, not only with the Filipino community here, but with our American and foreign counterparts.
Thank you, and maraming salamat po to you, Dr. Raul Sunico.
Maraming salamat din.
Thank you. And that's a wrap for our Philippine Independence Day Special 2017. See you next time. See you again next week for the second part of the Philippine Independence Special 2017. Paalam at mabuhay tayong lahat.